religion. I'm not the person you despise. I will change you. It's your worldview. Rise the sun. Shelter innocence from harm. Perfect your picture with the Lord's burn. Cast as a martyr. Scar my soul. Shed in blade. Replace jockey for their fix. Got the final breath and that's so meaningless. Torture remains encased in the mess. Blood starts to thicken as it exits through your chest. Veins and blood react as the dirt forms as one. Pain from below, just from above. Closed in a box as your loved ones gather round. Screams of agony lower to the ground. Shout out to the fine gentlemen of Condition Critical, man. Love those boys. New album. Go check them out on YouTube. Leave them a comment. Tell them I sent you over there. Support your local heavy metal, man. Doesn't get enough love. Monday Night Raw in Cheesetown, Milwaukee. WWE once again playing it safe. Nothing really over the top happened tonight. Nothing really exciting happened tonight. We got another LA Knight and Vision main event. You know, with Monday Night Football going on, I don't think people want to watch the same main event that you've given us now for 5 straight months. AJ Lee's back on Raw for the first time in 10 years. You'd think she's the Intercontinental Champion. She's not. She got her match. And we'll talk about the rest of this show, including the Jey Uso not heel turn. Can't wait for all the reaction streamers to clickbait the shit out of that one this week. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the beer garden tonight. We're keeping it open. A couple more months. And when I get there, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw Post Show for September 8th, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Monday evening, wherever you may be, man. Week by week, the summer is coming to an end. The crickets are getting lighter and softer as the nights go on. And Monday Night Raw continues to be a boring program. It wasn't all that bad tonight. I just don't really like how safe this show has become. There are things to like about the WWE product. There's a lot not to like about the WWE product. But right now, I just don't feel a level of excitement outside of the obvious in WWE. And this is a wrestling-wide thing. It's just not a WWE thing. We're not going to hold them accountable for putting on boring shows either. They're not the only one. Everybody's putting on boring shows, lifeless shows, shows with no soul, programs that don't make sense. Monday night has become safe, and I feel like with Monday Night Football, that's not going to really help the cause on Monday nights. Wrestle Palooa is coming along nicely. It's going to be a big deal. We got several matches announced already. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. We have Stephanie Vaquer, who was not on the show tonight, which we were scheduled to get a contract signing, and we did not get a contract signing with EO and Stephanie Vaquer. I don't know what happened there. I don't know why these segments continue to get announced and then all of a sudden pulled at the last minute. Hopefully everybody is all right. Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky for the vacant women's championship. Cody Rhodes looks to be returning on Friday night. Hopefully we get Cody versus Drew McIntyre on the show. The Usos versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker has been announced for the show. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And the big one, CM Punk and his wife, AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and his wife, Becky Lynch. Mixed tag team match now made official. The worst kept secret over the last 2 weeks in all of pro wrestling was this particular match taking place at Wrestle Palooa. Don't know what else could be added. But the big thing tonight on the show was the return of AJ Lee. First time in over 10 years, she's made an appearance on Monday Night Raw. Friday was monumental. Friday was absolutely incredible. She came back Friday night, tore Chicago down, Allstate Arena, blew the roof off the joint. CM Punk was thrilled to have his wife back in the company alongside of him. It takes the storyline from borderline middle of the road to now it adds a little bit of a personal feel to it because now Punk's wife is involved alongside Rollins' wife. And the vision has become instantly more enjoyable and more interesting with Becky Lynch's inclusion. No words were said by AJ Lee on Friday night. She came out after CM Punk basically told Becky Lynch, you're going to regret putting your hands on me. I'll never put my hands on a woman, but I have somebody I know that will. And that woman was AJ Lee. She came out, a couple of Luthez press on Becky Lynch, big slap right across the face for retaliation against Becky Lynch for what she did to AJ's husband. And she took the Intercontinental Championship with her as a souvenir. Tonight she showed up on the show. And tonight was legitimately her first words on a WWE program in over 10 years. This did not go off as well as Friday night. Not to say that it was a bad segment, but I felt like the segment went on and on and on and on, and I felt like it could have been shortened to feel a little bit more impactful. I understand they wanted to give AJ Lee a free microphone and have her go out there and say whatever she wanted after 10 years, which is beautiful, and it's perfectly okay. The thing is, the entire segment dragged on to a point where it took up a good portion of the second hour. By the time this segment was over, we were already going into the second half of the show. AJ Lee still cuts a better promo than 80 to 90% of the women's roster. Some people on that roster just don't get it. Some people on that roster just don't have natural charisma. Some people on that roster are just manufactured to a point where they speak and you don't believe a word out of their mouth. Everything is overly scripted. Everything just feels completely forced. AJ Lee spoke tonight for the first time in 10 years, and you got a glimpse as to why everybody is so in love with her. You got a glimpse as to why everybody is so pro AJ Lee. If you're not, you can fuck off. You can go watch the other fucking show where nobody has a fucking personality, and honestly, nobody's even getting fucking television time outside one person, two persons, people. Two people on that show, period. AJ Lee has personality, and the most important thing that she did tonight was be real with everybody. She offered a glimpse into who she is. She offered a glimpse as to who she is, where she's been, why she went away, and why she's back. Sounds kind of simple. The simplest of things were handled tonight. I don't want to make this about the other show, but I'm in a bad mood. It doesn't take a lot to tell us where you've been, why you're back, and why you were gone for 10 years. Some people can't get across why they've joined the company and what the fuck they're doing here. Some people can't level with you and let everybody know how you're feeling. Be real with them. The reason why people are so involved with AJ Lee is because she connects on a personal level where others do not. Gee, man, it sounds like you got the recipe for what makes a successful pro wrestler. Why do you think her husband is so fucking popular? Why do you think it made Bryan Danielson so popular? The best pro wrestlers are the ones that you can connect with. The best pro wrestlers are the one who are real. The best pro wrestlers are the ones who show you exactly who they are, and they're not playing some silly fucking character. It's the reason why Bray was so fucking loved, especially when he returned. The recipe for a great character on television, on a pro wrestler, or on a pro wrestling show is very simple. And AJ Lee showed you why exactly it works. It was the perfect setup, and it was a very simple setup. I did not know she was going to come out wearing the Intercontinental Championship. The Intercontinental Championship around AJ Lee's waist did look good. And it was used as a vehicle to get across what she wanted to say, what she needed to say. She used it as a vehicle to lure Becky Lynch into a match at Wrestle Palooa. Because she knew both her and her husband, Seth Rollins, were both cowards. And she used it as a vehicle to have them say yes to whatever she wanted. Perfect setup, matches made, worst kept secret in all of pro wrestling coming out of Clash in Paris. And now we have Wrestle Palooza, and it's going to be probably the biggest show that WWE puts on all year outside of WrestleMania. For reasons that are clearly obvious. We'll talk about what AJ Lee said in the segment tonight, cutting her first promo a little bit later on in the show. The other thing that people are talking about tonight is Jey Uso. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso are back. The Usos are back. Tag team division can certainly use them. But by the end of the show, people are already thinking that this reunion is going to be short-lived. LA Knight and Jey Uso do not like each other. They both want the same thing. They both want Seth Rollins, and they both want the World Heavyweight Championship. Unlucky for them, neither one of them is going to be the World Heavyweight Champion. There was some vast miscommunication on Monday night in the opening segment between Jey Uso and LA Knight. Division causing problems once again. LA Knight sees clearly. I don't know if Jey Uso is seeing clearly. He ate a big splash from Bronson Reed. And apparently Jey Uso is blaming LA Knight for the miscue in the opening segment. Jey Uso doesn't want anything to do with LA Knight. LA Knight gets Bronson Reed in the main event, which has been the same main events for the last 5 months here on this show. It's somebody, one of the baby faces versus someone in the Vision. Usually it's a tag team match. Tonight it was a one-on-one match. LA Knight got Bronson Reed in the main event. Jey Uso did not want to back up LA Knight. Jimmy Uso did. Because he's on Raw and he's got a problem with the Vision and he's here for the Vision to take care of them. At the end of the show, Jey Uso did come out to help his brother. He did not come out to help LA Knight. He got his revenge on LA Knight and he speared LA Knight for the miscue in the opening segment of the show. So now they're even. But there was an audible ooh and ah from the Milwaukee crowd tonight, some of which turned to boos. And now people are asking if Jey Uso is going heel. Jey Uso is not going heel. This is the same thing that started going into WrestleMania. Is Cody Rhodes going heel? No. Going into SummerSlam. Is Cody Rhodes going heel? No. 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 The top babyface in the company is not going heel. I don't know why everybody is just so quick to say, that's it. It's a heel turn. Jey Uso's going heel. Jey Uso sells more merch than anybody on the fucking brand. And yes, let's turn him heel and make an absolutely terrible business decision. Why would WWE do that? They just got the Usos back together. There's another reason why he's not going heel. Do you know what I think it is? It's Jey Uso showing a little bit more edge. It's Jey Uso just showing you that Uso penitentiary Uso. Why does everything gotta be, it's a heel turn. Oh, it's a heel turn. Oh, he's turning into a bad guy. If anybody turns heel in this case, it's LA Knight. LA Knight might join the Vision. We don't know. Jey Uso does not need a heel turn, nor will WWE turn him heel. LA Knight could be the recipient of a heel turn. And if WWE was tasked with choosing one or the other, I think they choose LA Knight to turn heel over Jey Uso. It doesn't make any sense for Jey to go heel. You're doing more damage than good there. Plus, again, Jimmy would be lost. For the first time in months, Jimmy finally felt like he belonged on the show, standing next to his brother Jey. They felt equal. They felt like they were both useful at the same time. They are stronger together than they are separated. Jimmy does not survive on his own. Jey is boring on his own. It's the same shit. And you saw what they did tonight in the opening segment. They finally felt like something substantial after months. So I don't know why you would want Jey Uso to go heel. If LA Knight can't beat the Vision, you might as well join them. And I don't think it stops there. They're going to need more than just a member. They're going to need members. We'll see what happens. Wrestle Palooa is on the horizon in that tag team match with the Usos and the Vision, which is basically the same match as SummerSlam, just minus Roman Reigns, which there's no real creativity. But the match is made for Wrestle Palooa. It will be the Usos reunion against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker on September 20th. The other thing that made the rounds tonight, and people are already jumping on the bandwagon of this is a shoot. This is not a shoot. AJ Styles. There was news today reported by Sports Illustrated in an exclusive that AJ Styles did send feelers out about potentially finding work elsewhere when his WWE contract is up. WWE tonight gave AJ Styles a microphone during the commercial, which they very much wanted you to see. During the commercial, which you could find all over social media. During the commercial, which if you watch via VPN, you saw it internationally, which WWE knows. AJ Styles is not going anywhere. For all the people that are already claiming, he's going to AEW, I'm not telling you that it's impossible. But AJ Styles, his contract isn't up until at least the spring of 26. He's got several more months to go. Whatever WWE showed you tonight on television, or I should say whatever you saw tonight via social media or VPN internationally, WWE wanted you to see. It all started because AJ Styles' son replied to somebody who has been disgruntled about the way AJ Styles has been used creatively. And AJ Styles' son agreed with said comments on Instagram. You don't think that WWE saw this? You don't think WWE is now going to turn it into something that's going to get the people talking? You all fell for it hook, line, and sinker. I am not falling for such games. The feud between AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio is far from over. AJ Styles is going to eventually capture the Intercontinental Championship, and this will all be irrelevant. But everybody tends to think, AJ Styles is going to Jacksonville. We're going to get AJ Styles versus Will Ospreay and AJ Styles versus Kenny Omega. Sure thing, bro. Sure thing, sicko. Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. It's all they know how to do over there, man. Constantly bring in ex-WWE guys and feed their fucking fan base dream matches that should have happened fucking seven or 8 years ago. Monday night was okay. It wasn't a blowaway show by any means. There's enough here for us to talk about, and we're going to get into it tonight. This is your Monday Night Raw review. It is September 8th, 2025. Thank you guys for joining me here on your Monday nights. Super chats are open. Get them on in. It's the best way to support the show. We'll hang out at the end of the show. Any questions, comments, and concerns, whatever you got, fire away, man. We'll hang out with our cold beverages at the end of the show. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go check out all of the great content on the channel. There is plenty to get lost in. We uploaded again this weekend, talking about last week's Matt Riddle situation where he no-showed a charity event in Barnsley, England. And then he released some videos that went viral on social media, not only calling everybody fucking morons, but he also called CM Punk a creep who hangs around the NXT locker room, and in oh so many words, called AJ Lee a whore. Interesting. It's kind of funny coming from the guy whose wife is a fucking porn star, but what do I know, man? What do I know? Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Tonight we are sponsored by BetterHelp. Matt Riddle may need BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com/scripts. Make sure you guys use our unique link and get 10% off when you sign up for your first month on me, courtesy of the podcast. BetterHelp.com/scripts. I want to thank them, as always, for sponsoring the show right here on Monday Night Raw's Post Show, right here on Off the Script. Let's get into this show here tonight. Jimmy and Jey Uso start us off on Monday night. The Usos are back together. Before we get to what Jimmy and Jey Uso said, Joe Tessitore was on commentary tonight. He did not make the rounds on Friday night. It was Michael Cole and Corey Graves. Corey Graves was once again on Monday. Love Corey. The more he's on the show, the better it feels. Michael Cole was not. I don't know what they're doing as far as the commentary teams, but Corey Graves will be the color guy on Monday and Friday, which is great. Wade Barrett's taking some time off. He's great, too. He's the second best color commentator in the business alongside Corey Graves. Nigel McGuinness is number 3. Taz, I would probably put at number 4. And then rounding out the top 5 would probably be Bryan Danielson. He's great. Bryan Danielson is going to sit on commentary permanently on AEW Dynamite. That is a great move for him. I love listening to him. It looks like Michael Cole will be calling SmackDown from this point on, at least until college football is over with. It's easier for Joe Tess to call Monday during college football season because Friday into Saturday, it's a little difficult for him, and Friday is his usual show. So Michael Cole's going to be doing Friday Night SmackDown for the time being, and it's probably easier for Joe Tess to finish the weekend and then fly into whatever city Monday Night Raw is going to be held in and do Monday Night Raw. But Corey Graves is going to be there on Monday and Friday. Now, I don't know what's going to happen as far as this Friday. We have AAA and WWE presenting Worlds Collide. Corey Graves will be doing play-by-play, as he has been doing for the AAA shows. So I don't know who is going to sit alongside Michael Cole on Friday. It could be maybe Wade Barrett comes back a week early. Maybe they get Vic Joseph. Maybe they call up Booker T for a night. I don't know. I don't know who will. Maybe it'll be Byron Saxton. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. So they got somebody filling in on Friday for Corey because he won't be there. And while the AAA show is happening, SmackDown will be ending. And that's happening in Las Vegas. That will be happening immediately after Friday Night SmackDown. Don't know where that's going to be showcased. It might be on YouTube. I have no idea yet. I won't be watching it live. I'll be here covering SmackDown. But that is the commentary situation in WWE right now. It's a good thing to have, man. They got 2 great guys in Michael Cole and Joe Tess. They got 2 great guys in Corey Graves and Wade Barrett. You know, it's a good thing to have. You know, AEW's got too many commentators. They got too many. And most of them are not good. Honestly. Tony Schiavone's got to go. Excalibur's fucking horrendous. And Ian Riccaboni only does Ring of Honor. I'd move Ian Riccaboni over to Saturday night and have him call the show with Nigel, and I'd keep Taz, Bryan, and get fucking Excalibur out of there on Wednesdays. He's fucking terrible. It's part of the reason why the show is so fucking bad every week, is him. That's just one man's opinion. What do I know? Usos. Jey Uso, that is, made his ring entrance, and he came out the way he usually does, through the concourse. He was joined by Jimmy. Joe Tess says they have each other's back, and the Usos are reunited. So we got the Usos into the ring. We saw a clip of Jimmy running out to stop an attack by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed last week. The Usos are now in your city. And he brought up the Vision and made fun of their names. They were interrupted by the guys he was making fun of. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed walked out to the stage. You know, what did I say last week, chat? I said this show starts off the same way every single fucking week. Every single week. Start off with either Yeet Man doing 10 minutes of an intro. We do it all over again. The babyfaces cut a promo. The Vision interrupts. The main event is set up. And we've wasted 20 minutes. I don't understand why the show starts the same way every single fucking week. It is tiresome. It is lame. It is boring. Give me something new. Give me something fresh. You don't need to start the show off the same fucking way every single week. I don't know why anybody gets excited about this. So the heels are out there now. Breaker says it isn't SmackDown. He asks what Jimmy Uso is doing here and if he is lost. This is Monday Night Raw, and the Vision runs Monday Night Raw. The Dogs run Monday Night Raw. As he's wearing a new t-shirt. You see this Braun Breaker new t-shirt? All over the back of the shirt it says, woof, 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 woof. Who would wear that? Who would actively go out and wear that, bro? I would feel embarrassed to wear something like that. Braun Breaker is a fucking badass, and you got his merchandise on WWE Shop. On the entire back of the shirt, it says, woof, 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 woof. Raggy? Might as well slap a fucking Scooby-Doo logo on there. Fucking ridiculous. Reed held Breaker back when he got worked up over what they did to Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is still in the hospital. Reed said all he wants from Roman Reigns' family is for them to acknowledge the tribal thief. Is he still really the tribal thief? He has no more Shulafala. What is he the thief of? I guess he put Roman Reigns out. He could still say he's the tribal thief. He robbed the fans of Roman Reigns. Fans are chanting for Roman. Reed said Jimmy wasn't a factor in Seth's Vision when he was on SmackDown, but he is now. You want to poke your nose in our business on Raw? Now you're in our eyesight. Fans started singing Roman Reigns in Milwaukee. That don't work in Milwaukee, bro. I don't really want to hear that chant in Milwaukee. Save that for the UK, okay? You're not cool. Reed says he isn't coming back. He'll be back after he films Street Fighter. Jimmy told Reed to shut his mouth. He said it irks him they have the same name and that they are taking orders from Paul Heyman. Jimmy says they're going up against the best team in the game, the Usos. Jay says they don't need to wait. Braun says they're going to wait because Milwaukee doesn't get to see this match. LA Knight then attacked Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed from behind, and he was overwhelmed here by the heels because he's a dummy. He attacked them 1-on-2. Usos leapt through the ropes and tackled Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. LA Knight and the Usos fought with Reed in the ring. Jimmy quickly super kicked Reed out of the ring. LA Knight and Jay argued. And apparently there was some miscommunication where Jey Uso got squashed in the corner by Bronson Reed with a big splash. And that's what led to the miscommunication and anger problems of Jey Uso on this evening. Same open to the show every single week. Nothing different. I don't know how you guys feel, but the Vision in the main event with a babyface of WWE's choosing every single week does not speak to me as exciting. This is basically the same game plan. This is basically the same script when WWE had the Judgment Day at the height of their popularity in the fucking main event of Monday Night Raw every single week. Which version of the Judgment Day you're going to get tonight? Is it going to be Damian Priest? Is it going to be Finn Balor? Is it going to be Dominic Mysterio? Who's it going to be? Against whichever baby faces they're feuding with. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, this guy, that guy. Cody Rhodes. Bro, there's got to be something else. There's got to be another way to book this fucking show, bro. There's got to be. Who can get excited about this? Why do I have to see the same fucking main event every single week? I am so numb to LA Knight versus either one of these guys, or Jey Uso versus either one of these guys. Before you know it, we're going to get Jimmy Uso in the fucking ring with Braun Breaker. Jimmy Uso versus Bronson Reed in the fucking main event of Monday Night Raw. It is bad enough that the Usos are back together and the match is made for Wrestle Palooza. It's the Usos versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. This is the same tag team match that opened night one of SummerSlam. All this is Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed versus Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. Jimmy is basically filling in for Roman. There's nothing new about this feud. Everybody thinks, oh, Jimmy Uso, that's a fresh match. No, it ain't. Same fucking match. You're substituting Jimmy for Roman, and Roman's a better wrestler than Jimmy. So it's a worse match. Let us get through War Games, man. I swear to God, Survivor Series can't come fast enough, bro. War Games, I don't know who's going to be on these teams. I don't know if there's going to be call-ups. I don't know if LA Knight's turning heel and joining the... I have no fucking clue. I have no clue. Byron Saxton's backstage. He approached LA Knight about his argument with Jey Uso. He says he didn't care about their family reunion. He says he didn't throw Reed in front of him on purpose. He says if he has a problem with him, he isn't a tough man to find. He asked for a one-on-one match against one of the Bronze. And he basically says he doesn't care if it's Action Bronson, fucking LeBron James, Charles Bronson. He doesn't care if he wins or loses as long as he gets a piece of them. AJ Styles, he goes one-on-one with El Grande Americano. El Grande Americano is in cahoots with Dominic Mysterio. Curious to see if one of the Americanos helps Dominic win the AAA Mega Championship on Friday from El Hijo del Vikingo. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. I would rather Dominic lose the Intercontinental Championship before we start moving him on to other championships. The big story is not about the match. The big story is about what AJ Styles said before the match. AJ Styles cuts a fiery off-air promo during the commercial, and he basically told everybody in Milwaukee that somebody does not want him here. Now, there was a report that went out today in regards to AJ Styles' contract situation. AJ Styles is not going anywhere at the time being. He's not going anywhere. He's got a contract coming up. AJ has a contract that is up in February of 2026. Styles signed a one-year extension with the WWE following his foot injury, the last time he was injured. Now, I don't know what is the plan for AJ Styles on television outside of what we see him doing. I don't know what he wants to do. If he wants to stay, if he wants to go. But multiple sources told Sports Illustrated that prior to re-signing with WWE on his most recent extension, Styles did indeed put feelers out about potentially looking outside of the company for work. Specifically, it was noted that he was generating major interest on the convention circuit from promoters, and it was mentioned that the interest was mutual and at least exploratory. Now, it's unclear as to whether or not Styles was looking into wrestling for other promotions, though he did show up at TNA Slammiversary as a part of WWE's working relationship with TNA, who is now a partner with WWE. Several years ago, it was reported by Dave Meltzer that AJ Styles was eyed for the debut episode of Dynamite in October of 2019, where he was expected to debut in the company alongside the Good Brothers. That is, Gallows and Anderson. That was in the main event, and there was supposed to be a main event angle that took place with the club. Instead, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson re-signed with the WWE, and Styles remained with the WWE as well. Clearly, they went nowhere, but they all decided to take the money and stay together. Styles is a 3-time NWA World Champion, 2-time TNA World Champion, 6-time TNA X Division Champion, 2-time WWE Champion, and he's one of the greatest performers not only in the world, but over the last 2 decades, according to many fans and pundits in the pro wrestling space. AJ's not going anywhere. AJ is going to ride out his run here, and I genuinely think that AJ stays with the WWE. I don't think AJ wants to continue breaking his body down, and if he goes anywhere else, he's going to be fucking straddled with the mud show indie fucking garbage, and his career is going to come to an end quicker than he really wants. I don't think he goes anywhere. I think he stays with the WWE. I don't think WWE lets AJ Styles walk either. Do you honestly think Triple H is going to allow AJ Styles to go walk into AEW? Give me a fucking break, bro. They will sit him down, they will offer him something and give him something substantial to do on television, which could be what we saw tonight. WWE's not letting him walk into AEW. So the sickos are probably foaming at the mouth already over AJ Styles versus Kenny Omega, and AJ Styles versus Swerve, and AJ Styles versus MJF, and AJ Styles versus Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, Adam Page, and whatever else you want to conjure up over there as a dream match in AEW. It ain't happening. Give me a break. I'll gladly give you Nakamura if you want. He can go over there and have a fucking blast if he wants to. He'd still be in Florida, too, so his surfing duties will not even be, they won't even be, stopped. He'll be able to surf as many times as he wants. So that's the way I feel about AJ. I don't think he's going anywhere. Now, what he said before the match started tonight with El Grande Americano, Styles grabbed the microphone and addressed the crowd directly. He pointed out that for the first time in his career, he has been left completely isolated on the roster. For the first time in my career, I've got no one watching my back. Gallows, Anderson, they're not here. Michin, she's on SmackDown. Not like she did anything anyway. It's like someone orchestrated a way for me not to win anymore. Not to have help. I'll let you make your own conclusions. He then acknowledged the unique, all-fair nature of his promo, hinting that he was speaking more freely than he would on live television. By the way, we are here right now and all over the world, but to the rest, everybody, it is a commercial break. I'm telling you something, nothing is really a commercial break, bro. WWE's got those cameras rolling all 2.5 hours of the show. But to the rest of everybody, it's a commercial break. I'm telling you something that you're probably not supposed to hear, which WWE clearly knows everybody's got a mobile device and are ready to go with that fucking camera at the drop of a dime. But somebody doesn't want me here. Styles then stated his motivation for his match against El Grande Americano, framing it as a way to send the message to the person he believes is holding him down. What we're going to do is you're going to beat the piss out of Grande Americano tonight so that the person doesn't want me here anymore can feel a little bit of his pain and mine also. Obviously, the promo comes at a time where I just read to you the article from Sports Illustrated where his time in WWE now is a topic of speculation. He recently posted a cryptic hourglass image on his social media, and his son was seen agreeing with the fan who was critical of his father's booking as of late. While he did sign a one-year contract extension earlier this year after his foot injury, his contract is up, according to Sports Illustrated, in February. I don't know where he goes as far as what he does on television. If I was to make a guess as to what happens to AJ Styles, I could absolutely see AJ Styles replacing Dominic Mysterio in the Judgment Day. And I could see the Judgment Day becoming, which it basically is a spirit animal in WWE anyway, to the Bullet Club. But I could see AJ Styles joining the Judgment Day and it really taking on a spirit animal of it being the WWE version of the Bullet Club. They're not going anywhere. The Judgment Day is not going anywhere. They are all over this show, whether it's Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez or Raquel Rodriguez individually, or a tag team. JD McDonough, Finn Balor, tag team champions, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio. I could see AJ Styles in the Judgment Day. And genuinely, I feel with all this tension between Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, and Balor not knowing what Dominic is doing behind his back, and El Grande Americano, and everything happening with AJ Styles, and all of this stuff with El Grande Americano and Dominic happening around AJ Styles, it's the one thing that really just kind of leads to it being AJ replacing Dominic in the Judgment Day. Now, that's just me guessing. He doesn't really fit anywhere else. Can you imagine AJ Styles and Finn Balor leading the Judgment Day? That would be fucking great. Honestly. I don't think this is leading to him leaving the company. I don't think this is him going to work for TNA full-time. I don't think this goes to AJ going to AEW. I really think that AJ could realistically replace Dominic Mysterio in the Judgment Day. That Intercontinental Championship, when it happens to fall into the lap of AJ Styles, if I'm Dominic Mysterio, I'm sleeping with one eye open. Because I do think that when he loses that championship, I think it's bye-bye and good night for Dominic Mysterio. The match with El Grande Americano. We'll pick it up after the commercial break here. I love El Grande Americano. I think he's great. So, Styles, he was being beaten up by Americano going into the commercial. After the commercial, Styles made his comeback. And he did his signature rack bomb. Goes for a cover on Kaiser for a 2 count. Kaiser begged him off, backed into a corner. Styles fell for it. So Kaiser dropped him over the top turnbuckle, hits a blockbuster for a 2. Styles was about to go for a Styles Clash, but stopped what he was doing as the other Americanos jumped on the apron. Or one of the Americanos jumped on the apron. We don't know who the other Americanos are. We have Tall Americano. We have Grande Americano. We have Vente Americano. Dragon Lee ran out to take this masked individual out. And Styles gave Americano a Styles Clash for the 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles is over. He's always been over. I think more people want to see AJ Styles on television. I think AJ Styles wins the Intercontinental Championship because the feud with Dominic is not over. And if we're looking to add a 6th match to Wrestle Palooa, Dominic versus AJ Styles for the IC title, is certainly that match. Friday night, Dominic wrestles Vikingo for the AAA Mega Championship. I said that Dominic is going to win the AAA Mega Championship. I do not. I think we continue to get AJ getting involved. I think AJ helps Vikingo win the match and retain the title. And we get AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio at Wrestle Palooa. And then I do think that whatever's going on with El Grande Americano and Dominic, this could be his new group. This is why I said that Dominic being replaced by AJ is the likely scenario. These Americanos are on TV for a reason. Their reason for being on television is Dominic Mysterio. Who they are, I don't know. But Dominic continues to say that the Judgment Day doesn't get it because it's lucha shit. It's lucha things, and they just won't understand it. Styles is going to win that title. I have it happen at Wrestle Palooa. Moving on. Adam Pearce is backstage with EO. He told EO that he had to cancel the contract signing because Stephanie Vaquer couldn't make it to Raw. Hopefully everything's all right. I don't know what's going on with Stephanie or this women's fucking title. I don't know why Stephanie has not wrestled all August, and now we're 2 weeks into September, and she still hasn't wrestled on the fucking show. We haven't seen her on the show. We haven't seen her outside of a backstage segment here or there, which in totality maybe lasted 45 seconds. 45 seconds of appearances for Stephanie Vaquer on Monday Night Raw, and people are lobbying for her to win the championship. No. I don't think that's the right idea. EO should win the championship because EO is going to make the title more significant. It is not the title that makes the person significant. It is the person that makes the title significant. Stephanie right now is as cold as fucking AEW Dynamite. She would do nothing for that championship. She can't even get on fucking TV. She was asked about the title match. Adam Pearce says that the match is going to happen at Wrestle Palooa, and he expects Stephanie at Wrestle Palooa. So don't worry about that. Nikki Bella walked in and asked for an update on Vaquer. Why she would care, I don't know. I did think that with Stephanie Vaquer out tonight on Raw and them canceling the contract signing, that they may be playing an angle with Nikki Bella because Nikki Bella just all of a sudden walked up to Adam Pearce and asked for an update on Stephanie Vaquer. Why do you care about an update on Stephanie Vaquer? Unless Stephanie Vaquer was taken out by Nikki Bella. EO and Nikki chatted here while Asuka and Kairi saw this and barged in. Nikki told Asuka she doesn't have to like her because Asuka told her, don't talk to EO. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. Asuka laughed and said, ha 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 ha, respect you? Maybe I'll beat the respect out of you tonight. And Nikki said, you're on. Kairi tried to talk to EO and Asuka yelled again after walking away, yelled for Kairi to come hither. Tessator said that EO versus Vaquer is still on for Wrestle Palooa as we saw the graphic following this segment. Lyra Valkyria. She went one-on-one with Raquel Rodriguez. This went 13 minutes. This was actually one of the better things on the show as far as match quality goes. I got to give it up to Raquel, man. Raquel, you know, she's not the smoothest worker, but she is slowly putting together some really good television matches on a very consistent basis. Now, Lyra's very good at what she does. Lyra's excellent. But you got to give it up for Raquel. She's really doing some good work. And I really enjoyed the tag team of her and Roxanne Perez. I actually like it better than Raquel and Liv. Again, like I said, chat, you know me if you've been watching me. Everything has a way of working itself out. This Liv injury is going to benefit everybody. It was a blessing in disguise. Not only did it get Roxanne into the Judgment Day, it got Roxanne over, or is getting Roxanne over. It's helping Raquel become a more complete performer. She's getting more work now alongside Roxanne, who was a rookie. Raquel was the veteran to Roxanne's rookie. Liv was the veteran there, and Raquel could never really hold a candle to Liv. As far as popularity is concerned, Liv was the star of that act. Roxanne now evens out Raquel, and they're both a little bit more equal to each other, as opposed to Raquel and Liv. That's why I like it better. And then when Liv comes back, I mean, she's going to be one of the biggest baby faces in the entire fucking division. And she's got a built-in ready storyline for her when she comes back. Trust the process, folks. Everybody's like, oh, man, what are we going to do? Liv is out. What are we going to do, man? How is our world going to go on? Don't worry, man. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Rodriguez took control after catching Lyra's flying crossbody attempt and hits a fallaway slam. Rodriguez starts working on Lyra's back against the ring post and starts bending her across the ring post. Corkscrew elbow drop right to the back. Continues to work on the back. She continues working on the back during the break. Lyra made a comeback with a spinning heel kick, bulldog jawbreaker, tornado DDT. And then she goes for a rope-assisted vertical suplex and goes for a cover, gets a 2 count. Lyra went for a sunset flip powerbomb, but Rodriguez held on to the ropes, and there was this cool spot where Lyra was basically hanging upside down with her feet in the air, trying to get Rodriguez off the top rope in this sunset flip bomb. And it was a great-looking spot, showing you, especially Corey putting it over, how powerful Raquel Rodriguez is to hold on in that spot. That was a really cool-looking spot. So Lyra hung on to Rodriguez, sat up, powered her down, hits a power bomb, eventually gets it. Lyra tried going for the Nightwing, but dropped Rodriguez partially because her back was hurt as she continued to sell the back from the previous spots in the match. Lyra and Rodriguez both trade counters until Lyra applied a deep cradle for a 2 count. Lyra then went up top. Rodriguez brought her down with a Tejano bomb, and she gets the victory over Lyra. 1, 2, 3. Raquel wins. Lyra seems a little bit more over in front of the audience. So hopefully whatever happened with that feud with Becky Lynch did work at least a little bit. And again, I got to give it up for Raquel. She's been putting on some consistent matches. And the women's division right now with the injuries and Naomi being out and Becky working a program with Punk and Rollins with AJ Lee, Stephanie Vaquera not being on television, Nikki Bella being a weak spot in the division. It's nice to see Raquel certainly holding her own in a division right now that is not as strong as it used to be only a couple of months ago. War Raiders. They were in the back with Penta. Penta told the War Raiders thank you for helping him. And the War Raiders told Penta, no matter what, they have his back. Penta then stops Adam Pearce. And he told Adam Pearce when he came to WWE, everyone loved him. But he feels Adam Pearce does not. Pearce says, what are you talking about? Everybody loves you. You know that. I've been impressed with you, says Adam Pearce. He wants a shot at the Intercontinental title and Dominic Mysterio. All of a sudden, Rusev interrupts. He told Pearce he crushed Sheamus, and now he wants to become champion. He told Pearce not to waste time with demons and clowns as he looks at Penta. I laughed. Penta got in Rusev's face. Pierce stepped in between them before they could fight and said, you know what? I got an idea. First time ever, it's official. Rusev versus Penta tonight in Milwaukee. Great. Love first-time matches. I love fresh, new matches on this show. And Rusev needs to continue the momentum coming out of Paris after he beat Sheamus. So good. AJ Styles is backstage. He thanked Dragon Lee for coming out to assist him. Jimmy walked up to them, and he asked both AJ and Dragon Lee if he's seen his brother Jay. Jimmy sees Jay walking out of the building. He tells these two guys, I'll catch up with them in a little bit. So he goes up to his brother. He says, where you going? He's like, I'm getting out of here. Going home. We got to run the play, says Jimmy. Jay asks, what play? What are you talking about? Jimmy brought up LA Knight versus Bronson Reed is happening tonight in the main event. Jay said, that's not my problem. Jimmy said the vision is our problem. Jay says he isn't going to let what Knight did slide. He said helping Knight won't help them at Wrestle Palooa, and it won't help him get his world title back. He told Jimmy now that he's out Raw, he's there to make sure they acknowledge them or they'll smash all of them. Jimmy remained calm, and Jay ended up getting really angry. Jimmy says, you know, you're not sounding like yourself. You're kind of sounding like Roman. Jay said, maybe sounding like myself ain't working. He left, and he exited the arena. A lot of people are taking this and what happened in the main event as a heel turn. I don't think this is a heel turn for the reasons that I mentioned at the top of the show. I think Jey Uso needs an attitude adjustment. And I do think that we need to start bringing back that Uso penitentiary Usos. That's what we're seeing. Jay sells too much merch, and he's too over with the audience to go heel. Sponsors, Netflix, ESPN, I don't think that they want a heel Jey Uso. And if WWE has a gun pointed at them, and LA Knight and Jey Uso were your choices on which one's going heel, you can guarantee it that LA Knight would go heel in the blink of an eye over Jey Uso. I don't think that this is anything the IWC is making it out to be. So if you see it from this point on over the next 24 to 48 hours, ignore it. Because I'm sure there'll be some fucking clickbait geek in the community making a video on it and reacting all fake to it. Faking their reactions over a fucking heel turn that's never going to happen. This is him basically doing what he feels he needs to do to be taken seriously. How are you going to turn him heel when the end goal here is War Games? The Usos together makes War Games an attractive match. Jay on one side versus Jimmy on the other does not. We've been there, done that. Don't want to see it ever again. Cut the shit. AJ Lee. This happens at the top of the 9 o'clock hour. AJ Lee comes out. Huge reaction in Milwaukee. Not as big as Chicago, obviously. But huge reaction in Milwaukee. Skipping around. Looks great. Has Becky Lynch's IC title around her waist. Fans chanted, welcome back, welcome back. First and foremost, she thanked the fans. She said, for those who weren't there 10 years ago and were wondering why their millennial parents were really excited on Friday, allow me to introduce myself. My name is AJ Lee, and I am your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. Wow. Look at that, chat. We got an introduction by someone who doesn't need one. Meanwhile, on the other show, we have Tekla, who's on the show. Who? Yeah, exactly. We have Tekla on the show. Hasn't said why she's in AEW, what her mission is in AEW, or who she even is. We've had Megan Bain on television for 5 months. She hasn't said a fucking word. Who she is, why she's here, why she teamed with Penelope Ford. Not a single fucking word uttered on live television. Jamie Hayter's back. Not a single fucking reason as to why she's teaming with all these other women on the show to battle the Triangle of Madness. Meanwhile, AJ Lee's out here after 10 years being away, who doesn't need to introduce herself to anybody, and she's giving us a promo introducing herself to the fans who might not know who she is. Did I do it right? Did I do the fake reacting right? She said 10 years ago she retired. Oh, wow. Wow. More explanation. None that's really needed, but here she is. Fans booed when she said 10 years ago she retired. She said, I'm sorry. She said she thought she accomplished everything she wanted. She said she didn't think she would step back in the ring ever. Wearing jean shorts that were 2 sizes too small. She said she went on a mental health journey. Did I do it right? We got more explanation, folks. She went on a mental health journey. She said she wasn't healthy and needed to take care of herself and get right. She said she went to therapy and got treatment. Finn started a therapy chant. And then she exclaimed, therapy. Yes, cheer for therapy. She said she found a way to turn all of the mental chaos into her superpower. She said the fight is not easy and every day is a fight. She said the fight is worth it and you are worth it. She said she was doing really good for a long time. And then she watched Monday Night Raw. Now, if she really wanted to be depressed, she'd watch AEW Dynamite Wednesdays on TBS and streamed on Max to the 10,000 people that watch over there. She got depressed when she watched Monday Night Raw. She said it's one thing to see your husband fight Drew McIntyre or Seth Rollins or John Cena. But it's another thing to see him fighting Becky Lynch. She said she wanted to like Becky and felt they had a lot in common. She said she's a leader, a rebel, and a best-selling author. Yes, I did it first, she said. She said there's a world in which they could have been friends, but then she had to go and motorboat my husband. In AEW, it would have been the other way around. I'm sure a male performer would have been motorboating a female. In WWE, the females motorboat the men. She said she put her hands on him and defamed CM Punk. Becky's music all of a sudden plays. She walks out. She looks very grumpy. She's wearing all red. She's got these ridiculous looking sunglasses on, very Seth Rollins-esque. She stood in the aisleway with a microphone and said, this has nothing to do with your stank-ass husband. She then asked if everybody was insane. Have you noticed anything? And she's asking the fans if she notices anything. Is everyone stupid? Of course you're stupid. You live in Milwaukee. She's wearing my title. She said she has made it the most important title in the division. She said, which is true, by the way. She said she's the greatest female wrestler in the world, and it's not even close. Other people say it. Sports Illustrated says it. And she cited other newspapers in the greater Milwaukee area. The Milwaukee Tribune said it. I'm kind of enjoying Becky Lynch throwing it in everybody's face that Sports Illustrated said it. It's kind of getting over with me. She said she's going to need therapy after this. Better help. Becky, if Becky needs therapy, bro, betterhelp.com/script. AJ Lee said she should go to therapy. Absolutely. Therapy's great. Lynch said she doesn't deserve to put a finger on her title. It works, I swear. I have a couple of numbers I can give you, meaning that she's got therapists she could give her. Lee said she forgot she was wearing the belt. She said she slept in it last night. Lynch told her not to put her grubby hands on her title. AJ then pointed out that Becky Lynch had a black eye because she had removed her glasses. Oh, is that a black eye I see over there, Becky? You mean to tell me my little fists of fury gave you a black eye? Oh, man. She said she sometimes goes feral and apologized. Now I know where Larry gets it. Lee said, since Lynch is the greatest of all time, she ought to come into the ring to get her belt. She laid it at her feet. Lynch stepped towards the ring, but paused and tried to gather herself. Fans in Milwaukee started chanting chicken at Becky. Lynch called Lee a New Jersey trash bag weirdo. She said she had to bathe in bleach after touching her dirty husband on Friday. She asked where he was, by the way, as fans chanted CM Punk, CM Punk. Lynch then said, what kind of man hides behind his wife? And I actually laughed at this because basically what Rollins is doing, hiding behind Becky, and she's throwing it now at Punk, thinking that Punk is hiding behind AJ Lee. But it really is Rollins hiding behind his wife, and she did it first. I don't know why I found that funny. I thought it was great. So, she goes on to say, this has everything to do with her vision, their vision, and she didn't need AJ to stick her neck where it doesn't belong. She said she should get her hot husband out here to show what a real man looks like. So Seth comes out. Milwaukee sings his song. Seth stands by his wife in the aisleway with a microphone, telling her to calm down, I'll take care of this. Seth tells AJ Lee to just hand over the title so that they can leave this disgusting city. Lee said she has a better idea. She told Becky, come and take your title. You can come take your title, but at the risk of getting another black eye. Or I could give you the belt back if she agrees to a tag team match at Wrestle Palooa. Pick your poison. So fans again chanted CM Punk, CM Punk. Seth said AJ has been gone 10 years and apparently she doesn't understand how things work around here. He said he is the world champion. This is his show. These are his people. And he does things his way. He says he calls the shots, so he's going to enter the ring and take the belt back and give the belt back to his wife. And that's going to be the end of it. Lee thanked him for mansplaining it. Everyone loves it. Seth entered the ring. AJ blocked him from reaching for the belt. Seth was getting more and more angry and told her to listen good. That doesn't belong to you. Seth continued to lecture AJ Lee. Punk came out as he stood behind Becky, bumped into Becky, walked past Becky, entered the ring. He lifted Seth up from behind to give him a GTS. Seth slipped free, went right back to ringside with his wife. Seth then accepted the match at Wrestle Palooa. AJ threw the belts at Becky, and he said, did Seth, that both AJ and Punk are done for at Wrestle Palooza. He told Lynch that they're going to put an end to it on September 20th. The segment was a little long-winded. They gave AJ plenty of time to really express herself, get that charisma and that personality back integrated into the show. She took a lot of time to get across what she wanted to do and what she wanted to say. Becky's out there, the back and forth. The back and forth needed to happen between AJ and Becky. AJ wearing the title around her waist that doesn't belong to her, that she stole from Friday Night SmackDown. It worked very well in this moment to get across this match taking place at Wrestle Palooza because AJ wanted the match and Becky wanted her title back. You can't get your title back unless you agree to the match. Very simple stuff. Pro Wrestling 101. You don't need to overthink it. It was the worst kept secret in pro wrestling anyway, and everybody knew this was going to happen, and everybody knew this was the direction going into Wrestle Palooza. Segment was a little long-winded. They could have cut it down a little bit. AJ really kind of embellished and played with the crowd. They wanted her to really just kind of own the moment. Go out there, no scripts, say what you got to say, feel it, get a feel for it after 10 years. But it did go on a little bit longer than people wanted. And I do feel that we got to the end goal anyway. We got to where we needed to go. So it's only a little minor criticism. It's great to see her back. She looks great. I'm excited for this match. I think it's going to be a really good spectacle on September 20th. I'm excited to see it. And again, I need to urge and express to you guys, if you see the AJ Lee hate all of a sudden on social media, tell everybody to go fuck off. I see a lot of the other fan base screenshotting and mentioning AJ Lee's cagematch.net ratings. Bro, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Honestly, I know you're a virgin. You basically express to everybody on social media how much of a virgin you really are. Like, this has nothing to do with cagematch.net ratings, bro. Seriously. You've not only shown the world how much of a virgin you are, but you've shown social media how worthless you are as well. If you cite match ratings from Meltzer and cagematch.net ratings, you probably haven't showered in 6 days. You probably have a box of tissues, lube, and your browser has 3 different porno sites all ready to go as soon as you're fucking done typing away on the blogs to other virgins. And you probably go to sleep every single night a lonely fuck. Shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear from you. Nobody cares. And match ratings don't fucking matter. And here's the kicker, folks. You can go and tell them that I sent you. Match ratings don't fucking matter. Matches like that don't matter unless you have fucking story. The story matters most than the match. With a better story, the match rating is more significant. Nobody's going to remember the match rating outside you and your fucking 6 virgin friends on fucking cagematch.net. I'll be at the bar having a cold beverage while these people talk about me online. I see everything people say about me online. I'm living my fucking life. And some guy called me an F word on social media yesterday saying, I'm an F word and all I do is yell on YouTube. That's great, bro. That's great, bro. Let me call my tax guy and see if he's fucking laughing with fucking revenue that has increased year over year over year over year by yelling into a fucking microphone on YouTube talking about pro wrestling. We got a Bayley vignette airing again. She said she's not sure what the next step is. She said the last person she wanted to hurt was Lyra. She said she hurt a lot of people in the past, but they mostly deserved it. She says they found it in their heart to forgive her. She said she's a good person, and she doesn't know how Lyra can find herself or find it in herself to forgive her. When Lyra can't even forgive, it's a problem. It's a problem. We then heard Bayley's thoughts, laughing and telling her to save it for her diary. Bayley starts wincing at these evil voices that have now infiltrated her mind. Take a hint and move on. We have to do what's best for us. Bayley then said, I'll make it right. So Bayley is basically, she's like this split personality. She's very kind of sad about Lyra. When Lyra can't even forgive me. And then Bayley hears these voices.
Save it for the diary. Take a hint. Move on, bitch. We have to do what's best for us now. I'll make it right.
It's basically what's happened with Bayley. Maybe Bayley needs better help. Who needs better help more, chat? Bayley or Becky? BetterHelp.com/script. Penta. He goes one-on-one with Rusev. 9 minutes. These guys could have gotten just as much as Raquel and Lyra. I don't know why they didn't. But I don't think this is the last time we will be seeing them in the ring, folks. I do think that there's some championship gold for one of these guys in the near future. We'll pick it up after the commercial break here. Rusev was in control before the commercial. Penta starts fighting back. Typical of a WWE Monday Night Raw. So the New Day run out because we need more New Day on this show. They ran out with Grayson Waller. Penta wiped them out with a dive. He was about to hit another dive, but Rusev blocked it. Back in the ring, Penta caught Rusev with a code red for a near fall. So, another distraction here. We have a lot of matches on this show with people getting involved. Penta kicked Xavier Woods, who jumped on the apron before flying off the top rope. Rusev caught him with a midair Machka kick, which looked devastating, and that was actually enough to pin Penta. So Rusev beats Penta with the big midair Machka kick for the 1, 2, 3. Rusev wins. Again, like I mentioned, I said this after last week's Raw, where AJ failed to capture the Intercontinental Championship. He was mega over. I do think AJ will win the IC title, and I do think that AJ will defend against Rusev. I do. I think AJ is going to be the catalyst for that IC title that the division certainly needs. And I think Rusev, he's going to be on his way to winning the IC championship. Which at that point, if Rusev is going to be the IC champion, I could absolutely see Rusev holding the championship for quite some time. Because at that point, then you got Sheamus waiting in the wings, who has never won the Intercontinental Championship. And then you got a returning Ilya Dragunov. Rusev versus Dragunov, bro, inject it into my bloodstream immediately. Imagine the wars between those guys. I think Rusev being in discussion for the IC title at the end of the year is the right way to go. Moving on. We got Vic Joseph. He's up in the mezzanine, and he's interviewing Dominic Mysterio about his AAA Mega Championship against Vikingo. So basically, there is some promotion there for Friday. Worlds Collide, WWE and AAA. That is the main event. I will not be watching it as it happens. I will be going back and watching it after the stream is over on Friday. I will be here covering Friday Night SmackDown because Brock Lesnar will be on. Hopefully we get some explanation as to why he's attacked John Cena now twice. And Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre, where I could absolutely see that being the return of Cody Rhodes, setting up Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre for Wrestle Palooa. So after that, Jimmy approached LA Knight in the back. Knight says he tried to play the nice guy and make peace. That didn't work. He said Jay kept him from winning the world championship. He says if you rewind enough, Jimmy kept him from a world championship too. So he is not very fond of the Usos, which goes back to the Bloodline days, which is another reason why I think LA Knight might be the one to turn heel, because if LA Knight is looking at the Usos, who are once again now trying to be on the same page, and Knight doesn't want their friendship, he may actually join the Vision. Again, it's a possibility that LA Knight ends up joining Rollins. He says if he wants to help, don't help. He says he would do things his way. Asuka. She went one-on-one with Nikki Bella. I don't know who asked for this match, but I think a lot of people were wincing before this match even started because of what we got with Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch at Clash in Paris. This was also a first-time ever match. Asuka dodged a baseball slide, hid behind Kyrie on the outside. Nikki shoved Kyrie. Another distraction. Lots of distractions on this show. I guess whoever wrote this show was also distracted. Allowing Asuka to kick her in the face, take over before we go into the commercial break. Asuka worked a rest hold during the commercial. Coming back from the commercial, Asuka hit a German suplex. Nikki avoided a missile drop kick. Fought back with some strikes, a springboard Bella kick, or whatever she calls it. She did hit it this time. Asuka was in position. Springboard kick for a 2, or whatever it is, a disaster kick. Asuka hit strikes on Nikki. Nikki blocked some. She blocked an Asuka lock, hits an Alabama slam on Asuka. Asuka comes back with a big roundhouse kick, spinning heel kick. She then went for another Asuka lock, applied it, and Nikki taps out to the Asuka lock. I don't know what it is with Nikki, bro. She does not look good. She looks good, but she doesn't look good in the ring. She is completely out of her league in this women's division. Nikki is way behind the 8 ball, bro. If Nikki was in a starting lineup for a baseball team during her era, she'd probably be batting second, third, or fourth, right in the meat of that lineup. Now I would say she's batting 9th or worst. She's coming off the bench in a pinch running spot. She's not cutting it in the ring. Some of the things she does are all right, like the Alabama slam was good. She hit her disaster kick tonight, fine. There's just zero desire to see her wrestle in a meaningful way in this division. Like, I don't care to see her mixing it up with the new age girls. I don't. That's why she gets labeled as a nostalgia act. She's doing it for herself, which is respectable. She wants to end it on her own terms. Fine. But if you're going to come back to the WWE, don't come back as Nikki Bella like we remember you holding a fucking purple butterfly belt. Because all that's going to do is drum up those old feelings of you don't belong in this current generation. If you want to come back, then you need to make sure that you fit into the mold. And what I'm trying to say is it may be time for A, heel turn, or B, a slight character change. Whatever that is, I don't know. And I mentioned before, there was supposed to be a contract signing with Stephanie Vicaire and Io Sky for the championship match at Wrestle Palooa for the vacant women's championship. Why isn't Stephanie on the show? Is WWE low-key playing an angle with Nikki Bella being the one who attacked Stephanie Vaquer? I don't know. So we'll see what happens. Next week on Raw, 7 p.m. start time, which means we will be starting at 10 p.m. and not 11 p.m. So make sure you guys are aware. I don't know if that's actually going to be better or worse for me because that will be right in the height of Monday Night Football, which is the reason why WWE is moving their show back. Or ahead, I should say. They're moving it up. 7 p.m. Judgment Day was backstage. Finn Balor and JD McDonough were talking to Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, and they were celebrating that Raquel had beaten Lyra and that Roxanne is going to beat Lyra next week. They wondered where Dom was. Dominic walked in. Balor asked, "What have you been doing? And why are you hanging out with Grande Americano? Do you care to tell us what's going on?" Balor said nobody offers help unless they're expecting something in return. Dominic said Americano was trying to help because it's a lucha thing. He felt like the rest of the Judgment Day just wouldn't understand because it's a lucha thing. He ranted about them getting banned last week. He says, I need help, and then you guys go get banned. Dominic needs help too. He walks away angry. Roxanne Perez then offered to go talk to Dominic Mysterio. I'm sure Dominic is feeling much better after Roxanne Perez went to go check on him. A lot of people would love Roxanne Perez to go check on him. Asuka. She approached Nikki Bella backstage and asked, what has happened to her? I don't know. It's a good question, Asuka. Nikki said she's sick of her and is ready for round 2. Rhea Ripley showed up. Asuka poked at her and said, she is the top woman in WWE. Rhea asked if it was Io wrestling for the world title, not her. Asuka ranted and stormed off. I don't know what we're doing with Rhea Ripley at Wrestle Palooa. I don't. I would absolutely book Rhea Ripley versus Asuka at Wrestle Palooa, rounding it out to 7 matches. I'm adding Rhea Ripley to that card next week. Hopefully that's the case. I just can't see her not being on that show. Main event. Bronson Reed. Still got Dominic and Roxanne on my head. LA Knight, Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed's got Braun Breaker, woof, 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 woof in the corner by ringside. Same main event. Feel like I've been watching this main event fucking 5 straight months now, man. I don't know. I don't know who gets excited about this. Are you guys excited about this? I know I'm not. We'll pick it up here a little bit into the match. LA Knight. He avoided a charge outside the ring, and Bronson Reed fell into the timekeeper's pit. We go back in the ring. Reed blocked a neck breaker. Knight dodged a senton. Hits a diving elbow drop for a 2 count. Knight went for a BFT. Reed shoved him off. Knight bumped Breaker off the apron. Another person jumping on the apron, getting involved here. It's like WWE can't help themselves. There's not a single fucking match that ends in a clean way. Knight went for the BFT. Reed shoved him off. Knight bumped Breaker off the apron. Knight stumbled back into Reed, who hits a Death Valley driver for a pinfall win. And the crowd was a little taken aback by the way the match ended. Nobody expected it to happen off of the Death Valley driver, which was kind of surprising. So yes, Bronson Reed wins. Jimmy Uso charged out and stopped a post-match attack by Breaker and Reed. Breaker speared Jimmy, who clutched his forearm. Reed landed a senton on Jimmy. Jey Uso then makes the save. So Joe Tess is yelling, I thought he took off and left the building. He did not. Jay ran to the ring. He super kicked Reed. And he went toe-to-toe, punching Breakker. He knocked Breakker down. He super kicked Reed again. But then Breakker speared him. They set up for the tsunami. LA Knight recovered and cleared the ring with a steel chair. So both Bronson Reed and Braun Breakker retreated. LA Knight helped Jimmy to his feet. He started yelling at Jimmy, "We're good now. We're good." They shook hands. All of a sudden, Jay ended up spearing LA Knight off of his feet. Fans in Milwaukee did not know what to think. They were kind of shocked. So we got a lot of oohs and a lot of ahs. Jimmy stared at Jay and looked down at LA Knight. And Jay said, "We good now. We good now." And then Jay yelled, "Yeet," as the show came to an end. I don't think that is a heel turn for Jey Uso. I don't. LA Knight has had quite the run here on WWE television. He's hovering around the main event. He's competed for the World Championship, but he beat Seth Rollins at Saturday night's main event, where that injury happened on July 12th. He's won one of his last 7 matches, and that one win was disqualification in a tag team match. As I'm looking now at cagematch.net. LA Knight is 1 win out of his last 7 matches. You don't think that LA Knight has a reason to join the Vision? If you can't beat him, join him. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso have been a thorn in LA Knight's side for years. The Bloodline. Remember that? He's been battling the Bloodline since the Bloodline was still OG Bloodline. Or one of the names that battled the Bloodline. Now he's got to deal with them again? He's on Raw going after the world title. He's got the world title in his vision. No pun intended. He looks to get away from everything that's happening over on Friday Night SmackDown with his fucking family. And this family is right back in his inbox all over again. He doesn't want anything to do with this family. They have cost him more than he would care to admit. If anybody's turning heel here, it's not Jey Uso, it's LA Knight. I don't know why everybody thinks Jay's turning heel. It doesn't make good business for Jay to turn heel. One of the biggest merch sellers in the company, one of the biggest baby faces in the company next to Cody Rhodes and CM Punk on a full-time basis. And the Usos just got back together. I don't know why anybody thinks it's going to go south for Jey Uso here. Plus, you got War Games on the horizon, and the Usos are going to need some opponents. Roman Reigns and CM Punk, I'm sure, will be battling in that War Games situation. It just doesn't make sense for Jey Uso to turn heel. I could absolutely see LA Knight being the one to turn heel and align with Seth Rollins. He will see the vision. Does it happen at Wrestle Palooa? I don't know. Thank you guys for a great stream, man. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got something out of it. Honestly, I'm not feeling myself tonight. I'm just kind of mentally checked out. We're going to read your super chats and get the hell on out of here, man. Remember, tomorrow night, Tuesday Night Titans, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Me and the Solid Monster will go over all of the week's activity. So all of the latest news and rumors. You can guarantee a great discussion tomorrow night, Tuesday Night Titans, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you go and check out all the great content on this channel. Second channel is blowing up. We just hit 14,000 subscribers on the second channel. So if you guys want some of the best clips during the week that happened on these streams, it's all on the second channel, man. Some good content going over there. Tonight's show sponsored by my great friends over at BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com/scripts. You guys are going to get your first month free. Actually, no, I'm sorry. 10% off your first month. 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/script. I want to thank them for sponsoring the show tonight. In pro wrestling, you always hear about who's in your corner. Like AJ Lee was in CM Punk's corner tonight. Braun Breaker was in Bronson Reed's corner tonight. Some people have managers, some people have tag team partners, and some people go at it alone, like LA Knight. But in real life, when you're facing anxiety, stress, struggles in relationships, it's not about cutting a promo in your bathroom mirror or asking a buddy in the crowd for advice. You need someone trained for that type of fight. That's where BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp has over 30,000 licensed therapists, and they've been helping people find their match for more than 10 years. They've already worked with more than 5 million people and have a 4.9 rating across 1.7 million reviews. That's a track record any champion is going to respect. It's all done online, which means you can schedule sessions around your life. So no travel, no waiting for your entrance music, just therapy when you need it. And if the first therapist doesn't feel like a right fit, you can tag out and switch to another at no extra cost, no questions asked. So if you're ready to stop working this match alone and want someone in your corner who knows how to help, it's time to give BetterHelp a try. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Find the one with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/script. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/script. I want to thank them for sponsoring the show tonight right here on Off the Script. Let's get into your super chats. Let's start at the top here. Joey Taylor with a $2 super chat. I feel bad for Wardlow. The biggest what if in AEW. No. The biggest what if is CM Punk. That is the biggest what if he stayed. I feel bad for Wardlow, bro. The report cites supposedly he got injured at Forbidden Door when he clotheslined Prince Nana. So he got injured by clotheslining Prince Nana, supposedly tore his pectoral muscle, showed up on Wednesday, looked good to me, fixed his cufflinks, and stood behind the rest of the Don Callis family, which is now 16 deep on Dynamite. Either someone's lying or he really is hurt and he's got the worst fucking luck in the world. And no, American Gladiators has already been filmed now for 2 seasons. That had nothing to do with American Gladiators. You know what it is? It could be bad luck. And it's definitely, this is also part of the reason, him being iced for so long and not getting in-ring reps like the rest of them. The inactivity is not doing him any favors. You're more prone to injury at that point. The Wardlow experiment in AEW is over. Now he's going to be out for another 6 or 7 months, and he won't be back till the turn of the new year. Maybe if he didn't come back in a nothing spot that they would never follow up on, he wouldn't be fucking injured. How about that? Do you genuinely think that AEW was going to follow up with the Don Callis family and Swerve Strickland? Or Wardlow and Swerve? They put him in a position where they would never follow up with it anyway, and you can look at that as what got him hurt. Michael Krause with a 2. JD and OTS. How's everyone's weekend? Let's go. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Olivia Lover with a $2 super chat coming to us from Bulgaria. Bulgaria is OTS. Hope you're well, JD. Anna J or Liv Morgan? Anna J. Boss Mo Jackson with a few super chats here. What's up, bro hamster? Hope all is well. OTS for life. Can't find Jesse's live stream, but it's all good. I don't know what's wrong with Jesse. I haven't heard from Jesse today. Hopefully he's good. LA Knight is promo genius. Should be a bigger star, but the machine of WWE would never. If we were in Attitude or Ruthless Aggression era, he'd be awesome. Maybe it's just me. Guys like LA Knight are underappreciated. Are they? He's in the main event every fucking week. Lucas with a $4.99. Raw just feels so safe. While not a bad thing, it very much limits the excitement for this show. You need to be risky so there can be excitement. Yeah. Joseph Taylor with a $2 super chat. JD, FTR, the Usos, or the Bucks? Your GOAT tag team. FTR. Don't let Dax hear me say that. Boss Mo Jackson with a $4.99. AJ Lee isn't my cup of tea, neither, wrestling or character-wise, but I can't help but be happy for her. However, I must say she's aged well. She looks awesome. MJP, hot take. Okada is boring. Bro, that's not a hot take. That's just factual information. Boss Mo Jackson with the $1.99. I always wondered what inspired the CM Punk name. Guy gets the chicks. Lucas with a $4.99. AJ Lee sounded nervous tonight, which is understandable because she's been gone for 10 years. Sure. And she still cut a better promo than 90% of the roster. Jay Everington with a 5. CM Punk and AJ Lee's tag team, middle-aged and crazy. Yeah. Yeah, Mac. M-A-C. My guy Telly. $9.99. It's much better when you're authentic inside and out, especially when you got a mic in your hand. You can't feel the emotion from it. That's why I love AJ. Most don't do it anymore. They come off bland or robotic. Yes, it's exactly what I said in the beginning. The genuineness of AJ Lee is why she's so beloved. Michelle Moran with a $2 super chat. Not enough Seth Punk tonight, but the show was okay. It was all right. Nothing to really go crazy over. Outlaw with a new membership. Thank you, brother. What are you fucking drinking in the venue tonight? And a $14.99 with a Australia super chat. You are the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Love from Sydney, Australia. Thank you, Outlaw. Thank you for being here, brother. Love my Aussie fans. Ricardo Linnell with 61 months. AJ Lee is back. She should be the one to take the IC title off Becky. Punk takes Seth's title. Let them shriek in misery. OTS for life. Certainly looks like we may be headed towards a title match for both those titles with both of them in the near future. Robert Hurt with 54 months. Thank you, brother. JD, I saw AJ sign her contract with Triple H. Do we know how long the contract is for? We don't. But if I was to take a stab at it, Robert, I do think that it's a 3-year deal. WWE usually signs 3 or 5-year contracts. In this case, we don't really know. Let's enjoy her for the time we got her. Lucas with a $4.99. I'm going to say it again. These shows are not bad. By no means are they bad. They just feel safe at the moment. Yeah? They are very safe. All moments and no real storyline excitement. Jay Barker with a $20 super chat. What's happening, JD, in the OTS venue? AJ Lee, although still the package delivered in terms of microphone, I thought this 2015 Cadillac still needed to have an oil change, if you get what I'm putting down. Shake off the cobwebs. I thought she sounded fine, bro. The reason she is so beloved is because she's genuine. And she comes off as the girl next door sweetheart. And a lot of people have suffered the same mental struggles as she has, which is why, again, she's relatable. And she's been very open about that. Tone C with a 149. He leaves me a black cat emoji. What are you trying to tell me, Tone C? You wishing me bad luck, bro? Richard Haley with a $10 super chat. Glad to see the Usos back together. I think I give Raw a 7 out of 10. You're quite the generous man, Richard. I wouldn't go above a 5. Boss Mo Jackson with a $4.99. I've come to accept WWE as an okay show, he leaves me. Best days are far behind. People say it's Triple H's fault, but I blame TKO. There's enough blame to go around. Yes, you blame Triple H. You blame Bruce. You blame all the fucking writers that are in that writer's room that you saw on Unreal. You blame TKO. There's a lot of blame to go around. Road Dogg. They're all to blame. At the end of the day, Triple H signs off on everything that happens. Thomas Malloy with 30 months. Thank you, brother. Cheers to 30 months. Could you see Lyra going heel with fans siding with Bayley? No. I do not want to watch the program with Lyra as a heel. She does not sound like a heel. She does not act like a heel. Bayley is the heel. We've already seen it done before. Bayley is a great heel. Unravel Gaming with a $10 super chat. After Wrestle Palooa, AJ Lee's first big feud is going to be with Becky Lynch over the Intercontinental title. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are now under the masks as El Grande Americanos flunkies. Yeah, I don't really know why they were chosen. And I don't know if this is going to lead to them being a faction with Dominic Mysterio. Like I said, I could see AJ Styles fitting into the Judgment Day quite perfectly. Yes, Road Dogg is the head of creative on Friday Night SmackDown. Now you know why the show has been so fucking awful. How much pull does he actually have over there? Illuminati with a $10 super chat. How does Liv fall into the picture when she returns? Does she stay heel with the Judgment Day or ride the lightning of her return and go solo, leaving Roxanne to stay with the Judgment Day? I won't be surprised if they pair back up Dominic and Liv as babyfaces. Going after Roxanne is the play. Survivor 1993 with 5 months. No comment. He just re-ups his membership. Thank you, brother. Bid Moon with a $4.99. AEW 400K. Laughing emoji. JD and AJ. Goats. Love it. I'd love to see it. Can't wait to see the Sickos celebrate 500,000 when they break 472,000 this week. They'll be celebrating 500,000 as if they hit 1 million. Revol with a 2. Milwaukee was great. Caught a shiny Gyarados today. It's great. It's awesome. Illuminati with a 5. TK, please just let Wardlow go. Just set him free from his suffering in AEW. Bro, I feel bad for Wardlow because now he'll be out for another 6 or 7 months and he'll just get that injury time tacked on to whatever already he had tacked on to his existing deal. Wardlow will be under the forever contract of AEW. Zachary Ray with a 199. Think Knight will become champ one day. Yes. Right now is not that time, though. And I'm Jesse Garon with a 2. Does Enzo have a place in AEW or would TK blow it? Well, if I'm Tony Khan, I would absolutely pair Enzo and Big Bill up or Kaz XL and make them a fucking tag team and have them do the same thing that they used to do. Enzo and Cass could still be great, which I don't get why people haven't really explored that. What the fuck are they doing with Big Cass? Nothing. Anyway, guys, I'm about to get out of here. Thank you for a great stream. I'll be back tomorrow. I might have a video, man. Did you guys see this Ariel Helwani interview with Maven? I've never seen a more paid by AEW narrative than this in recent memory, bro. Fucking ridiculous. I may talk about that tomorrow. So we might have that to look forward to. Tuesday Night Titans tomorrow with the one and only Solid Monster right here on the channel, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go check out all the content on the channel. And please check out BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com/script. 10% off your first month. I'll see you guys tomorrow night live for TNT.